Pluckley and Pluckley Thorn are two close clustered neighbourhoods in the Pluckley civil parish in the Ashford district of Kent, England. References to Pluckley can be found in the Domesday Book. The village's parish church, dedicated to St Nicholas, dates primarily to the 13th and 14th centuries. The Deering Chapel, separated from the rest of the church by two screens and found at the east end of the south aisle, was built in 1475. The nave contains brasses dedicated to members of the Deering family, all of which has been made in the 1630s by Sir Edward Deering. Surrendon Manor was the former residence of Sir Edward Deering, 1st Baronet, who is buried locally, and it was there that the Deering manuscript, the earliest extant manuscript text of any Shakespearean play, was discovered. Elvie Farm dates from 1496 and includes a collection of stables and outbuildings dating from 16th to the 18th centuries. Pluckley had an entry in the 1989 Guinness Book of Records for being the most haunted village in Britain, with 12 reported ghosts. Pluckley is the location of many supernatural television programs, such as Most Haunted and Ghost Legends. It still attracts amateur ghost hunters today. Among the most famous reported ghost hauntings is that of the Red Lady, or Lady Deering, who died in the 12th century, sighted in the churchyard of St Nicholas. Other reported hauntings include a ghost monk, a phantom highwayman, and a gypsy woman who died in mysterious circumstances. 3 of these are all within a few feet at the road junction. Ghost hunters have dubbed Fright Corner, Deering, or Screaming Wood. The Darling Buds of May was filmed in the village in the early 1990s, as well as Strange But True, Most Haunted Midsummer Murders, and Ghost Hunters International. The Blacksmith Tea Rooms, a 17th century building, boasts at least 2 or 3 ghosts. A little old lady whose misty figure is said to appear in an ingle nook, perhaps sitting in the same spot as she did so happily years before. On the landing, the figure of a mournful phantom cavalier has been seen many times as his ghostly figure that keeps appearing in a bedroom in the middle of the night. The Blacksmith Tea Rooms until 1993 was a public house, and the brewers often found it difficult to keep up with the turnover, not of trade, but of tenants who left, usually on some feeble pretext. But could it have been due to the spirits that could not be bought? One landlord was terrified by a black floating object on the landing. Another was upset by the evil vibrations that she felt there. Another licensee complained of mysterious footsteps being heard, lights that flashed for no apparent reason, not to mention objects continuously disappearing. Even the local woods are known as Screaming Woods, perhaps not without due cause. It could be the ghostly screams of a highwayman who is said was caught by his intended victim and died impaled by a sword to a tree where he was left to die. This happened aptly enough at Fright Corner. If you take a walk in Parkwood, be prepared to meet the figure of the Colonel. He could well be out on his perpetual walk, which could well be his penance for some misdeed in the past. But strangely enough, his ghost has not been seen since the tree from which he hanged himself was cut down. Not to be outdone by its rivals, the Deering Arms claims to have an apparition of a lady wearing a bonnet who always sits by the window. She is said to appear to be so solid in appearance that other customers politely attempt to pass the time of day with her. There is a further strange story concerning a beautiful lady who was buried in Pluckley's St Nicholas churchyard over 500 years ago. It was a dying wish that she could be buried in 3 airtight coffins and a wooden casket, in the belief that this would preserve her beauty forever. A ghost manages to leave the coffins and has been seen many times floating through the churchyard. Apart from the ghostly lady mentioned above, who is generally known as the White Lady, there is also a Red Lady who can be seen in the north side of the church, and is believed that she is looking for her unshriven child. Another ghostly White Lady has been seen at the site of the old manor house. The apparition of a white dog has been seen in the church as well. The catalogue of ghosts also recalls a ghostly monk who is said to be always smiling, especially when accompanied by a ghostly lady who comes from Rose Court. A phantom cavalier who it is thought lost his life when cornered by a group of Cromwell's roundheads has been seen in the village. Also the ghost of a schoolmaster who took his own life in Dicky Bus Lane. Then there is the ghost of the gypsy who perished in a fire at the old mill, having fallen asleep with a lighted pipe in her mouth. A ghost is often seen in the red glow. The ghost of one of the old millers has also been seen in the mill. Brick Walk is aptly named after a brickmaker who fell into a clay pit and lost his life. Pluckley also boasts of the common sight of the phantom coach and four. This has been seen along the road of Smarden.